I'm not going to repeat again because it's long. But we are going to be joined by a really amazing ambassador. She's one of our younger ambassadors. She's turning 3 this coming year. Her name is Stella, and Stella is a Tamandua, which is also an anteater. I heard some people say anteater. She is a lesser anteater, and the reason she has that name is because the other anteater species is a giant anteater. So they are smaller in size. The other anteater species besides those two is a silky anteater, which has a lot of different species as well. But we're going to focus a little bit on our tamanduas, or lesser anteaters, today. Now Stella hasn't really been as graceful as we thought she would be, but she is going to move around out here a little bit. Now, as you guys see her move, you guys will see some adaptations for her being high up in a tree. She is more of a, oh, I almost said fossorial, that is under the ground, arboreal animal, so she's going to spend the majority of her time up in the trees. And the first adaptation that I want to talk about is those hands. If you guys see her walking along with those hands, that's actually not for climbing purposes that she's doing that. It's to keep those nails nice and sharp so she can get into her food source, which is mostly going to be termite and ant mounds. She's really going to need to dig into them. Right now you're going to see her kind of hopefully stick her face into a fake termite mound to slurp up some things. But as she's walking around, you guys will notice that long tail hanging out behind her. Now that is what we call a prehensile tail.
Like,
that's just a fancy word that means it can grab onto things. So that tail can grab onto things to allow her to hang all the way down and reach low-hanging mounds in the tree, or get out of the way from predators, anything like that. But they are not going to be sleeping like that. I know a lot of the times we hear about prehensile tails, we think animals sleep upside down with those tails. They do not. It is not something they can sustain for a long period of time. Now the coolest thing about these guys, just like any anteater, is that long sticky tongue, which you guys might be able to see, but it looks like we're going to get a hang behavior first. Look at that. Yes, you can clap for that. Good job, buddy. Yeah. Good job, Stella. Now, we haven't seen that tongue yet, but that tongue can get anywhere from 12 to 16 inches long, and it basically slurps out and then rolls back into the back of the throat area. Pretty cool little creatures that do this, but what's even more fascinating, as you guys see that tongue, is that these guys, when they do actually go into ant and termite mounds out in the wild, are actually very sustainable about it. They will not overexploit or overdo their eating when they are going into those mounds. They will stick their head in, slurp for a little bit, and then go back out so that population can revamp itself, get all of those babies born again and stuff like that. Now, the reason they focus on more social insects is because they actually do breed a lot faster. So ants, termites, they have babies a lot faster than other animals would. And that allows them to go back to mounds later and eat from them again. So these guys are very, very sustainable eaters, which is something we all could practice. Even us that work here still have to think about it on a daily basis. Only eating what we can, or only getting stuff that we can eat, not overeating or not overly buying stuff that we will throw away. That's something we can practice as humans as well. She's doing another hang, and you guys are welcome to clap every time she does something you like. She is not bothered by it. Now, sorry about that. You guys will see some different kind of adaptations for her as well. As she's hanging upside down, she is able to do that. And if you guys see her pulling herself up, that is not something we as humans easily do in that slow kind of movement. So their core is very, very strong, and not only their tail, but their whole body. So typically you're going to see a lot more movement from those front arms. That's where a lot of those muscles are, because they do need to actually dig into those strong termite mounds and pull themselves up places. Now I've talked a bit, I see some hands being raised, but do you guys have some questions for me about tamanduas? Yeah, go ahead, buddy. How old can tamanduas get, or tamanduas get? So usually they're going to push into their late teens, so almost 20 years old. Beatrice, which was our last female that we had here, made it to around 18 years old, and she was our first successful mom here at the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance in about 40 years. So she was the first one to have a baby tamandua here. This was not Stella. Stella was not the baby, but Beatrice was super successful for us and a very good little tamandua. But Stella here is only turning about 3, so she's still very, very young. Do I have any other questions about tamanduas? Yeah. Very good question. Which continent are they located on? They are mostly in South America, but they can come up into North America, into Mexico area. So that's the northern tamanduas, and then we have the southern tamanduas as well. Does that answer your question? Yeah? Yeah, go ahead.
Are they endangered?
Yeah, so these guys, well, the question was, are they endangered? So this species of tamanduas, anteaters, are not considered endangered. These guys are actually considered stable out in the wild still. Numbers are decreasing, but it's difficult to find a lot of the species of Xenarthra when they kind of are more solitary and seclude themselves out in the wild. So getting numbers on them is still quite difficult.
Because their habitat's being reduced?
Yeah, so habitat loss is a big thing, as well as bushmeat. So that is taking wild animals for food out in the wild. But we do have cultures out there that are still needing that kind of food source. So that's just something, education plays a huge role in going out to those villages and stuff like that. Very good question. Right, right here, buddy. What do they climb? This. No, I'm just messing with you, buddy. They climb anything they can out in the wild. So any kind of trees or any kind of plant that is tall enough, that's what they would climb. They can climb whatever they want out in the wild. Here, she has a habitat back in the back that she can climb wherever she wants to. And she can choose not to climb also. She can stay on the ground if she wants. But I will tell you guys right now, Stella is actually done. That was a short round for her. But if you guys want to stay back and I can answer questions for anybody that works out, I will just go off mic. So everyone have a good rest of your day. If you guys do want to check the 2 o'clock presentation out, that is at Wegaforth Bowl, just outside of Wildlife Explorers Basecamp on your left. Like I said, it's at 2 o'clock, and they will showcase usually about 3 to 5 different wildlife out there. And that's about 20 minutes. Thank you all.